Hi everyone, Pam Gregory, astrologer. I'm going to be speaking to you today about the second half of July and in particular the new moon that we have coming up in Cancer on the 15th and the 16th. This is at 23 degrees 14 minutes of Cancer and it happens on the 15th of July at 6:24 p.m. Pacific time and on the 16th of July at 2:24 a.m. UK time. Anyone born any year from the 12th to the 19th of January, April, July or October will be likely to feel this. Now at this new moon we have 4 planets in Cancer. We have the Sun and the Moon because they're always together at a new moon, and we also have Mercury together with Mars. Now the sign of Cancer is a sensitive emotional sign. It's a lot about our feelings. It's about our home, what makes us feel safe and secure. It's about our family unit and our deep personal life. So there'll be a strong sense of wanting to feel safe and comfortable and protected in our homes. Mars in Cancer, which it was at the full moon in Capricorn just past, may bring about a sense of fierce protection, really valuing our home and protecting our home. Also, because this is a new beginning, a new emotional beginning, we may have a sense of wanting to protect others, to feel very sympathetic, to feel very empathetic with other people. It's very sensitive, this water sign of Cancer. It's all about our feeling and our emotion. Now, there's been quite a strong emphasis on Mars in the last few new and full moons, and it's emphasized again because it's conjunct Mercury. So this can even at times bring about assertive or aggressive behaviour or angry words, particularly if someone says something that triggers an old hurt for you, triggers old anger that may go way back to your early family life, your early childhood days, and someone says something that triggers you and the angry words come out almost before you can catch them. So be aware of that. But in a very positive way, the Mars-Mercury conjunction really energises the mind and energises our thinking. So it's great in order to make plans and forge ahead in that sense. And we have another very positive aspect of this new moon, which is a grand trine. It's an equilateral triangle between Chiron retrograde in Pisces, Saturn retrograde in Scorpio, and the new moon itself. So Chiron retrograde in Pisces is very much about our sensitivity, again our hurts, our wounds that may be from a long time ago that we're exploring because it's retrograde. Saturn retrograde in Scorpio we've talked about many times now. It's about digging deep into old feelings that we may have repressed and pushed down again for a very long time. And because Mars is so highlighted here, those feelings could be those of anger. So if we've done our inner work, what the third point of the triangle gives us, the new moon gives us, is an opportunity to release that old stuck emotion and move forwards with a new emotional beginning. And just check out where this falls in your chart because that will give it more meaning to see how that is likely to manifest for you. The second half of the month, particularly the 15th to the 25th of July, has some strong energy in it because the Mercury-Mars conjunction forms a T-square with Uranus and Pluto. So it squares Uranus in Aries and opposes Pluto in Capricorn. So this is energizing that Uranus-Pluto square yet again. So again, we may have feelings of intensity. This is quite a combustible, unpredictable, turbulent aspect. So if this is triggering anything in your chart, if you have any planets or angles anywhere between 12 and 22 of the cardinal signs, those are Aries, Cancer, Libra and Capricorn, if you have anything in those areas, this can make you feel quite impatient or impulsive. Freedom and independence will be important to you. You won't want any interference. You want a kind of go it alone, and it can create a sort of restlessness that makes you initiate change, because this T-square is all really about change. So you can either bring it about yourself, or you may find that change comes quite suddenly from the outside, but it is very strong yang energy which produces change. And linked to that, on the 26th of July, Uranus goes stationary retrograde. A planet always goes stationary before it changes direction, and when it is stationary, its symbolism is magnified. So on the 26th of July, Uranus is at that stationary point before going retrograde. So again, we might expect round about that day all the Uranian symbolism that we're becoming familiar with, of turbulence, unpredictable, unexpected, out of the blue events. It can bring about new discoveries, it can bring about awakenings or breakthroughs of various kinds. And that's very true on a personal level too, because it wants us to break down the old, get rid of anything that's stale and isn't helping us grow anymore, in order to break through to the new. So that can be super positive in terms of, again, shifting our energy, because Uranus is very associated with a super conscious perception. So we can get information that we may not normally receive. But again, that is suggestive of a lot of change happening around that time. And just the day before, on the 25th of July, Venus also goes retrograde. It goes retrograde at 1 degree of Virgo, and then it backtracks to 14 degrees of Leo on the 6th of September. Now, that will really, because it's retrograde, again, it's a going inwards on the principle of that planet. So what does Venus represent? We may be asking ourselves what we really value, and whether we have enough love and joy and pleasure and beauty in our lives. And if we don't, perhaps we might make some adjustments to increase those elements in our life. Also, it's quite a creative, meditative, contemplative period. And we have a lot of planets now, most of the outer planets plus Venus as well, retrograde. So it's very much an introspective time for us as well. But July is quite a mix of energies. The great sensitivity and the feeling side of this new moon in Cancer, and yet the strong outward energy of change, with Mars in that T-square to Uranus and Pluto, and Uranus going stationary retrograde. So very interesting month, second half of the month to come. And then, of course, we've got some big news in August when Jupiter moves into Virgo. But that's for the next video. And in the meantime, if you'd like to really find out where these aspects fall in your chart, if you don't know, just check out the link appearing above me, or that same link appearing in the description below. And even if you know nothing about astrology, that will take you to my store, and you can buy a 2-part video series which enables you to very simply and easily, once you've got a copy of your birth chart, to identify where these aspects fall in your chart. And it gives you much more meaning to all of these updates that I do regularly, and you can constantly refer to those 2 videos to give you more meaning in your life. If you'd like to know more information about my book, which is also out in audio format or free monthly information, I put out about a 3,000-word newsletter at the end of each month. Just check out my website, pamgregory.com, or www.thenextstep.uk.com. And thanks for listening.